I find the harder I work, the more luck I seem to have. Thomas Jefferson, my friends, each and every day, 10 to 15 minutes. That is all we ask. Let's jump into these charts. It's a big down day across the market, except for HODL. That is the Bitcoin ETF. It's only down 0.10%. Everything else is much higher than that. Let's start first with the S&P 500. When I first was looking, when we're getting toward the end of the market, it was down even more, recovered a little bit, but still down big, 1.72%. And of course, over the course of this week, we have blown right through that second support level and things are rocketing down. Look at this 2-day chart. Look at all the volume in the latest 2-day candle that closed well above average volume for the week. As I told you, we've been in bear country with lower highs and lower lows and things just hammering down. Those who've been in the short with us, and of course, what is the inverse fund? Well, it's SH. That is the ProShares single short of the S&P 500. And of course, we have been in there and it has been going in the right direction, which is up. And again, we're not a stock calling service, gold, Bitcoin, bond calling service. We're an education firm. We want you to practice trade with us. And we have been practicing well this week as things have continued to move down. How long will this market move down? I don't know. But what did I keep telling you? I told you that back in February, we had things move down and we've been waiting. And of course, we have mimicked that starting in when? Early March. So this happened in late February. About a week after it happened last year, it happened this year. Does it always happen every year? No. But we were waiting. We were watching. We were seeing the market slide sideways and it's down. So we are bearish. What about the NASDAQ 100? Down even more. 1.84%, crashing through what? On the 2-day chart and the half-day, it's been below the weekly trend line for a while. And of course, it's not the weekly trend line that we're looking at as much as blasting through this lower support level, what we've been calling the basement, already pushed through the floor, and now it's pushed through the basement. It has done so, closing below it on the 2-day with all that volume. Didn't quite hit average volume this week, and we haven't pushed through the final support level yet with the candle itself. We have pushed through, of course, with the wick. So not as much downward push, as strong and as heavy with all the spinning tops that we've seen on the 2-day. And again, staying just above the basement support level, but things are now moving down even further on the NASDAQ too. As I told you over the last few days, a couple of weeks now, we've been bearish on it. What do we see on bonds? Well, bonds have moved up for 3 weeks. Then we got the typical sign. Our best sign is when we have above average volume with a red spinning top. Now, we do like above average volume. We were awfully close on that 3-week topper. And things, of course, pushed over and headed down. And 2 good down weeks after the red spinning top. And again, you can see where it was a dive, 1.87%. After, things started moving up Monday, pulled off on Wednesday, pushed back up on Thursday, and then dropped off the cliff on Friday. No surprise there as bonds crushing it down. What about gold? Woo! Gold, again, tried moving up. We saw where after the crash, we had a red spinning top, and then things moved up. Then last week, we had a doji. Then this week, you can actually see where things pushed through that. I can't really hardly call this a trend line because it's so horizontal. But you saw the green up movements end. That started on Wednesday, March 11th, pushing through that trend line on Monday, and then dropping strong on Wednesday, dropping strong on Thursday, and dropping again on Friday, 3.06%. Look at all that volume on the 2-day. You can see all the volume on the last few days on the half day. Didn't quite hit average volume on the weekly chart, but a big red down candle. Now, again, everything pulling back. And when you have systemic market crashes, when things are really pulling back hard, everything goes down. And you say, Tom, why? Why isn't everybody flying into gold or bonds or whatever? Well, the problem is people are covering their shorts, their losses. And so they're selling stuff to keep liquid and to keep afloat. That's what I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but I see it happen over and over again. That's the only explanation I've come up with. Maybe it's just raw panic. I don't know. But that's what happens. I see over and over again. Now, Bitcoin, not down so much today, 0.10%, which is interesting. You can see where Bitcoin headed down in the morning on Wednesday, popped down again on Thursday, and then on Friday, pretty much just a sideways slide, both Thursday afternoon and Friday. Like I said, down 0.10%, not 10%, not 1%, but 0.1%. Again, after 2 weeks of up movement, we saw that before, didn't we? Back in early January to mid-January, and then it flopped. That may be coming. We'll keep an eye on it. Hope you've been riding the shorts, my friends. Hope you are learning by doing. It's easy to practice trade, and when you start getting good, you might want to consider fractional trading. That's where you get a little dollar amount, say $100, and put it in and see how good you can do. That's what really keeps you honest. You can cheat in your own head and on the piece of paper when you're paper trading, but when you're using a small amount of real money, say $100, even if you lose 20%, which you could to start, it's $20, okay? It's not $20,000 because you're an idiot and you're throwing real money in when you don't have the skill set, when you're learning a new skill too. Even though you're a seasoned trader and you're trying new things, give that a shot. My friends, thanks so much for being with us. Always love to hear from you. CW@chartingwealth.com. God bless. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth.